First things first, do you currently have any food addictions? Are you addicted to sugar, to salt in high amounts, to processed foods? Whatever it is, do you feel that habitual patterning, that addictive frequency with any of your food habits? How do you discern if a craving that you're having is a legitimate body craving where your body's lacking in a particular nutrient, let's say, and that food that you're craving contains that nutrient? This is something that will happen, for example, if you're stranded in the middle of the ocean on a lifeboat. You'll eventually start craving the organs of fish. For example, the liver, you'll start craving the liver. That's because your body knows that that organ contains high amounts of an essential nutrient that you need. So we do that. Our bodies do that. They know what they need and they know where to get it. And I call that a legitimate body craving as compared to what I call an addictive mind craving. So that is when you are stuck in that dopamine loop where you need that next hit, that next fix, to have that dopamine spike in the brain. It's like a hijacked dopamine reward circuit. You can look this up in neuroscience, this addictive pathway in the brain. And the way that I started to distinguish these two cravings was first in retrospect. Sometimes it's easier to learn in retrospect when you can look back on a choice. So a legitimate body craving, once you give yourself that food that you've been craving, you'll feel better. You'll feel good. You'll feel refreshed, renewed, nourished. It'll be like your cells are drinking it up and you feel more vibrant and alive and clear. Like you literally feel the life coming back into you. Whereas if it was a illegitimate mind craving, you're not gonna feel so good. You're probably gonna feel sick or groggy or lethargic, or you'll get this like super intense high and crash. You're gonna feel kind of icky or off in one way or the other. So that's your first clue. Just look at your choices in retrospect and you'll start to notice patterns like, oh, every time I eat this, candy and soda, let's say, I might feel like hopped up for a second, but then I feel kind of nauseous, as an example. So get clear on that. And if you notice that you do have these mind cravings, I would suggest that you do some sort of elimination diet to kind of, cut off that addictive pattern. Whether you want to do something like the Whole30 diet, I guess that would be a whole new series that I would talk about as to how to break through addictive patterning. But essentially, once you become aware of any addictive patterns, you don't want to continue feeding into them. So first and foremost, you need to make the free will choice that you're not going to continue feeding into that pattern. So I'd say that's the first step.